Hi, my name is Candy Drexel, and this is my health lesson plan for PEP 350 for the University of Idaho. Just a quick disclaimer before I start my lesson. So I am conducting this lesson as if I were conducting a Zoom meeting. So basically, I designed this lesson to be given in an online environment during a Zoom class, and the students in the scenario would have access to my Google Slides presentation so they could edit it in the text boxes with their names to be able to interact with the class. All right, eighth graders. Today we're going to be talking about time and money management and how the proper time management skills can help reduce your stress. So I will give everyone about 30 seconds. If you could respond in the text box with your name on what are some of the things that you do to reduce stress. Like, I'll give you an example. One thing that I do to reduce stress is I go on long walks with my chocolate lab. So just write 3 or 4 things that you do to reduce stress right now. Ready, go. Okay, very good. Thank you. And same thing, go ahead and respond in the text box with your name to the prompt, how does stress affect the body? Just what you already know about how stress, what can it do to your body? It's okay if you don't know too much because this is something we're going to cover. I just want to know what you guys already know. Okay, awesome. Thanks you guys for those thoughtful responses. That was great. So let's talk about this, how stress affects the body. As you can see from this diagram, stress can affect the body in multiple different ways, from the brain to cardiovascular, to your joints and muscles, immune system, skin, gut, reproductive system. And one thing I know we are hearing a lot about right now, especially with COVID, is immune system. And this can be very huge no matter what the big virus is, if it's just the flu, and the immune system, if it's compromised or weakened due to stress, can have a really hard time fighting off viruses and just other things that are going around. So this is extremely important to know how to lower your stress. And if I feel if you learn these skills right now in the eighth grade and you can make them concrete and you understand how to properly reduce your stress, these are skills that you can take with you for the rest of your life. So go ahead and respond again in the text box with your name. How do you spend your daily 24 hours? I know you're not going to be able to give me exactly, frame by frame, time by time what you do, but just kind of think, what are some big chunks of your day? How do you devote your 24 hours in your day? Okay, awesome responses. Thanks, you guys. All right, so now we're going to talk about how to properly manage your time or how to prioritize your life, basically the things that go on in your life, how to prioritize those with proper amounts of time in order to be in optimal health and to not have stress weigh on you as much because of your time. And I feel like, especially when you guys are going to school and college level too, there's so many different things that you're trying to juggle at once. It may be kind of hard to know what to prioritize. So the book Comprehensive School Health Education gives a list of 12 different um, things that you need to prioritize in your life. So these are the first 6. These are kind of the common sense ones. So when you think about your time, you're thinking about, time for yourself, your friends, your schoolwork, school activities. And then this next slide, these are ones that we don't really think about as much. Time for physical activities, which can be school activities as well if you're involved in the school basketball team or something like that. A lot of these can overlap. So it might seem like, oh, there's 12 of these. How on earth am I ever going to find time for all 12 of these? A lot of them do intertwine. And so that definitely helps when you're trying to manage your time. So now I'm going to give you guys a scenario. And I want you to respond to the scenario in the text box with your name. So Emily gets home from her day of school and volleyball practice at 5:45 p.m. on a Tuesday night. She has a quiz the next morning in math that she still needs to study for. With the amount of material she needs to study, she is thinking this will take her about an hour to 2 hours. She also needs to take a shower, eat dinner with her family, and go to sleep around 9 p.m. in order to get an optimal amount of sleep. Her friend Jessica just texted her and asked if she wanted to go see a movie with her at 6:45. If Emily decides to go to the movie, what are the short-term and the long-term impacts it will have on her and the other people involved in her life? So I want you to think about that. What are the short-term and the long-term impacts that it will have on Emily's life and the people around her in her life as well if she decides to go to the movie? Go ahead and respond in the text box with your name. These are great responses, you guys. I'm seeing a lot of, she's going to fail her test. She might not get enough sleep that she needs to be able to do well on her test. I'm not seeing anything so far that has anything to do with anyone else in Emily's life. So let's take a step back and think about the teacher. So if Emily, let's say, sleeps in and she misses her math quiz, now the teacher has to go out of her way to give Emily that quiz the next time she's in class. Or maybe she makes it to class on time, but she doesn't do well on the quiz. Now the teacher is racking her brain trying to figure out what's going on with Emily and how she can help her better improve. So I love these answers, and this is just an example on how every decision we make in our life has short-term and long-term effects, and these effects, if we make the wrong decision, they can affect us and other people in our life as well. So it's really important to have these time management skills down, especially at your guys' age, so that they're nailed for when you become an adult and you have a lot of responsibilities you're trying to juggle at the same time. This is also from the book Comprehensive School Health Education, and these are just some tips for staying organized. And these are aimed for people your guys' age, so keep a calendar, or you guys have your planners each week that your parents sign off on. So I would recommend filling that in. It's very important to understand what needs to be done. Another idea for identifying what needs to be done is making a daily to-do list. I like to use the notes on my iPhone, and that really, really helps me keep track of what I need to do every day. And then keep your room and your locker neat. This helps you find your materials quickly, and it reduces your stress, because if that's taken care of, that's one less thing that you need to worry about, especially when you're managing your time. So go ahead and write in the text box with your name, what do you think is the number one cause of stress, at least in America? Okay, I'm seeing a wide variety of answers here. Well, according to CNBC News, money is the number one cause of stress, and 30% of Americans are stressed out by money constantly. Now, we already saw what stress can do to our body. So, what are some actions that we can take, especially if you guys are learning this skill now? What are some actions that we can take that will help us reduce the stress and not be a part of the 30% of Americans that are constantly stressed out by money? That means constantly, like every second they are thinking about money. And I don't want that to happen to you guys. So let's look at one very concrete way onto how to better manage your money. This is for budgeting. Have you guys heard of budgeting before? Give me a thumbs up on your screen if you've heard of budgeting. Okay, yes, so maybe this is something that your parents use, maybe this is something that you already do. This is just a simple rule. So when you have your total income, 50% of that would be devoted to your fixed expenses like your mortgage, your rent, your utilities, food, and other living expenses. 20% would be set aside for your savings account because a lot of things happen and you need that savings account as kind of a cushion for you in case something happens. And then 30% would be, your entertainment, your hobbies, your travel, going out. And of course, that can vary. And this is just one example. Some people do 30% savings and 20% fun. So, since there are so many different ways out there and it really is specific for every individual person, this isn't something that's going to affect your guys' life right now. But it's something that I think is extremely important, especially when you get on to high school and you're working after school. This is an app called Every Dollar. It's a free app. You can do it on your computer, you can do it on your phone. Basically, it breaks down your monthly income and it budgets it for you. And you can make it specific, like, I only want to spend $100 on going out this month, and that would be a lot. That would be a really fun month of a lot of stuff to do. But over here, you can make it specific for you. And I think that it's such a great tool. I use it personally. And so this is something that I think would really, really help you out with your budgeting and to better manage your money so you're not one of those 30% of Americans who are stressed out by money in the future. This is just a really simple tool to help you identify what your priorities should be each month when you are budgeting. So again, go ahead, we're going to do a quick wrap up here. Go ahead and write in your text box, how does stress affect the body? Try to think about that diagram that we used with that when it had the human body. How does stress affect the body? Write about 3 or 4 different ways. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm seeing a lot of different responses. I'm seeing, your immune system, your gut health, your reproductive health, cardiovascular. I'm seeing a lot of immune system, and that's probably because I talked about that. And that's something we're hearing about so much right now in the news and just the world around us. And I think these are really important takeaways for you guys to know. So great job. Now, let's think about 3 goals that you're going to set for yourself to better manage your time, better manage that 24 hours that you have in a day. Set 3 goals. Like one of the goals that I'm going to do is spending less time on social media and devoting that time to reading. That's going to be one of my goals. To go ahead and do 3 goals. Okay, awesome. I'm loving these. And these are something that we'll be checking in on probably once a week to see how you guys are doing with these goals. Okay, and finally, our wrap up. What are 3 things that you learned today? Go ahead and write them in your text box. All right, those look great. Thanks you guys so much for your participation today, and I hope you guys learned a lot about how proper management of your money and your time can reduce your stress and improve your health. Thank you.